Usually, when a large number of people have a collective knowledge and or interest in a certain place, there's reasons why. It's a famous place, it's distinct in appearance, something of significance happened there, etc. There's always at least something. If I told you there was one building in all of Portland that captivated my attention more than any other as a child, what would your guess be? You'll probably never guess. Well, back in 2016, I was walking along one of the city's freeways headed to a completely different place to film when suddenly I caught view of this building from a decent angle. So I'll just let 2016 Steve reveal to you this, quote, captivating structure, one that's intrigued many others as well as myself. Coming to the crooked sign of 25th and Holiday. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. It's a very interesting area. You got the freeway over here. Oh, this building. Oh, no way. Hold on a second, bro. This building, I do not know what it is, but as a kid going down the freeway, this particular building over here always mesmerized me as a kid. And the graffiti on it has constantly changed over time. And I don't know why, but I was obsessed with this building as a kid. I always looked forward to it when we were coming this way. I knew there was Gordon's, that self-storage place over here, and then this spell. And it's right next to where I want to be, which is right over here. That's it. This is the place that captivated me most as a kid growing up. I mean, when we went down I-84, if I missed catching a glimpse of this place, I got genuinely pissed off. And I had no idea that, as a kid growing up in the 90s, that many others had taken notice of this place as well. I covered this same general concept in my video that I did about the Burger King that once stood on West Burnside, wherein, despite being this kind of nondescript place that had been abandoned for years before its demolition, it captured people's attention and was memorable to them as much, if not more so, than a lot of other places. And it's not like this was the only place of interest that you passed along I-84. There's lots of random buildings along the freeway. There's the old Gordon's Fireplace Shop, and even Tom Black's Garage, the historic name of the building I was actually going to see in that 2016 clip. It's a distinct structure looming over the freeway, and yet I never took notice of it. Probably because I was too mesmerized by what was directly across from it. This seemingly bland, whatever warehouse building has inspired a Willamette Week article as well as multiple Reddit posts, all addressing the same thing. What the hell is and was this building used for? And it's nice that these are out there, as there's not really a lot of information out there about this place. It was originally built in 1910 and stands on a lot of just over 56,000 square feet. One person on Reddit said they believed it had previously been a meat processing factory, which, I mean, if you look at it, it fits that bill pretty well. Now, the Willamette Week article that I mentioned previously stated that the place was once a timber plant. If this is true, I wonder if that was one of this place's first purposes.
Train departing. Please hold on.
Geez, you get just a few blocks from the Lloyd Center Holiday Park area and it gets real nice. You'd never think there was a beat up, graffiti covered, mysterious, probably a building full of bodies, nestled just downhill from all of this. I'm pretty sure I know where the entrance is. I've never looked before, so I'm going, and Google Maps doesn't go down this little side street, but another block or so down, there's a road that veers down to our right. And I'm pretty sure that's where the entrance is. Now, I'm not going to actually go down to the building. It's obviously owned property. It's up for sale still, as far as I know. And trespassing laws, they're very straightforward, but they're also kind of goofy in ways. And one of the ways in which they're goofy, just for a side note on my way there, is you do have to put up like signs, you know, saying keep out for, you know, well, especially places like this where like a random given person may not know whether it's still being used for anything because it kind of looks abandoned. A lot of people have assumed that it is. Even the Willamette Week article I looked at, part of the purpose was, hey, this abandoned building is actually not abandoned. But even though you're supposed to put up signs, technically, if you do put up signs, whether someone who goes down there sees it or not, they can like still get in trouble for trespassing. You can put like one sign on the far end of the property, and I could come in on the other side and be like, yeah, there was no signs, no fencing, nothing. They'll be like, well, but there still was actually signs there, you just didn't see them. So ignorance is no excuse, I guess, is kind of the idea. Anyway, I just want to get as close as I can and just get a view, because I've never actually walked up and looked down upon this place. All of the millions and bajillions of times that I've looked at this place. I think it's right on the other side of this hedge. Can't really get any good looks through it though. It's not a private road. So, or I guess it is. This is, oh, I guess I can at least walk up to the fence here, because I can't go in there. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you can see though. I was hoping to get a better view, but you can see there's like the little road that enters, and you can see part of it down there, a little bit of the backside. See, like, it doesn't look like much, but you can see like the backsides of, well, I guess it's a part of the place I've never seen before, but you can see there's like this little road that comes in behind it, but you can't see it from the max lines on the other side. So it was always a wonder to me as a kid, how do people get to this place? It was so secluded. Anyway, oh yeah, and I can see there's like a fence right there. That's probably, so you have to go through this place, this American property management place, and then you'd still get stopped at that gate and probably not get a much better view. Well, you know what, I'm gonna at least get a view from here, because I'm not going through the fence. I'm just kind of looking down past here. I don't know if there's a fence here. No, there's a fence. Can't really see a lot, but that's like the roof, and yeah, you'd have to go through the fence to, so yeah, not a lot to see, unfortunately, but it was worth a glance. I saw a little something. Creepy garage. I'm hoping to, I don't know what the F this is, I'm hoping I can get out. This is the bridge, 28th, crossing over the freeway. I'm about 2.5 blocks down from the building. I'm hoping if I get far enough to the other side of the bridge that I'll maybe get some kind of a view back towards the warehouse. Oh, well, I was just about to say it's not looking promising, but I can see a little bit of it over there. There's a little something. And of course, when I was a kid, I always saw it from the freeway. I never took the max as a kid. But yeah, you can see it right there. Yeah, you can see everything just goes right by it. And it's a partial explanation for why so many people see this building and recognize it, because a lot of people are on the max or taking the freeway here. All right. Taking a risk. This street is lined with homelessness, but this is kind of the back way to get into where I want to be able to see. And I'm also coming this way to get clips to use throughout the video so that you don't just have stock imagery or Google Maps imagery. Something a little bit more fresh. You know me, I hate to put out a video where I could go to the location, but then I don't, and I just use like Google Maps imagery. It's kind of lazy. And since I'm not getting a big video done this weekend, I am working on 2 videos, one of which has literally been in the works for 3 months. So I think I want to turn. I do not know where I'm going. Hopefully I can still go through this way. It looks like they're putting in another one of these big dumbass lofts. Or, these big ass apartment buildings like this. This is what they keep building in Portland, and then they wonder why there's an ongoing housing crisis, why so many people are getting priced out of their homes. And it's because, as I've said 50 billion times, people that really need housing can't afford to live in things like that. But that's what they keep building. Now, this is kind of obnoxious. 'Cause there's the building. Problem is that stupid damn fence is here next to the other fence. So I've kind of restricted to views like this. I want to say even this view used to be less obscured, like in my 2016 video. There's our place. I guess, yeah, the ivy does kind of go away a little bit down here. But there she is, holding on. She had a fire not too long ago, but she's still there. The most well-documented history related to this building is the fact that it has served the business Columbia Knit for quite some time. This company first opened in 1921, but in the 1950s was purchased by Jacob Krzyk, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, apologies if I'm not. Born in 1918 in Poland, as a young man, Jacob survived internment in 5 concentration camps, as well as being wounded by an Allied plane before relocating to Portland in 1952. Despite a youth that would have been beyond most people's capabilities to survive, Jacob lived to the age of 100 before passing away in 2019. He would run Columbia Knit for many, many years, as well as having direct involvement in the creation of the Oregon Holocaust Museum that stands today in Washington Park. And along the way, his company operated out of this simple building in what is called Sullivan's Gulch, a low point that runs for an extensive distance in northeast Portland. It's now a major transportation hub for the city, with railroad tracks running through it for a very long time. And then over the years, Interstate 84 and ultimately light rail lines have been added through the Gulch. The existence of a freeway as well as a line that 3 of Portland's MAX lines go through has no doubt played a role in so many people taking notice of this place. But this does not necessarily explain why this place gets more attention than others. In the summer of 2023, the location went on the market for just under $4 million. But till then, it was still under control of Columbia Knit, probably more so used for storage than anything else. With this company having the name Knit in its title, along with the fact that knit beanies are a major item they sell, it makes sense by one Redditor's account that they, as a teenager, snuck into the place to look around and found it was just full of giant rolls of yarn. So why? Why does this place captivate so many? I don't think the fact that so many people pass by it daily is enough. The fact that the place is notorious, more so in the 90s than any other time, for being covered with graffiti, I think has had an effect, but I don't think it explains everything. It's definitely something people remember. More than anything, and I remember this too, for some time there was a painting of Batman on the building. A simple piece of graffiti that people today genuinely miss. I remember the graffiti as a kid being eye-catching, but I never felt that was what kept my interest. To this day, I'm still not sure exactly what it was. You know, you're a kid and you get interested in things without necessarily understanding why, and as you get older, you forget altogether what the inspiration was. I have a few thoughts, though. I feel the strongest attraction altogether regarding this building is the secluded essence that it gives off. Many are creeped out by it, even if it's all just a big joke. But seriously, the building is wedged against a hillside with transportation blocking it on the other side, and the only way to get there is secluded by trees, so to someone passing by, there doesn't even seem to be a way to get there from a street. I think that really had an effect on my youthful imagination. That there it was, right there in front of me, and yet it was so far away. And I never ever saw anyone there. The place was always empty. Even though others have claimed to see people there when they pass, I never saw a single person in or around that building in the hundreds of times that I've passed it in my life. There's something so alternate universe-y about it. Like it's there before our eyes, but we can never enter because it exists in another plane of existence. Even the homeless camps that line the gulch up and down, none of them ever quite encroach on this building. It's almost like they know they can't. I know that may sound dramatic, but I think that's where my little kid mind was going at the time, and I love that I could get so wound up and excited over a beat-up, old, mini warehouse covered in tagging and surrounded by so much nothing. With age, obviously a lot of that whimsy is gone, but I still always remember to look when I'm passing by this place on the freeway or even getting a closer glimpse from the Max. If nothing more than the nostalgia of it all, or to just find a small way to keep in touch with that adolescent Steve living off somewhere in the past. In 2016, another business reportedly set up at that address called Free Kick Productions. I found no information about them whatsoever. The building sustained a fire in the summer of 2022, which left me thinking, presuming at the time that the building may have been vacant or even abandoned, that the next step was probably demolition and another architectural memory from my past gone. But with the place going on the market the following year and still standing, I hope it'll be around at least a little longer. Hopefully someone will find a new purpose for it, but being Portland, I always worry the wrecking ball is right around the corner so that another ugly building that nobody's gonna use can go in its place. So thanks everyone for watching. I know this is a short, simple little video, but this place popped into my head a few days ago and I haven't really been able to get it out, and I figured, hey, I can talk a little history, a little strangeness, and connect on a personal level a little more with you regarding something that was actually really important to me as a little kid. I'm still hoping to, at least from time to time, put together shorter pieces like this along with the longer ones that take a couple of weeks to get done. I also want to take a moment to thank all of my newer viewers and subscribers that have made recent weeks on YouTube a greater success consistently than any other time on this platform for me. Of course, along with the constant support and viewership of those of you who have been viewers and subscribers for some time now. And of course, my Patreon supporters. You all collectively keep me inspired to produce content even amidst the hecticness of everyday life.